I want to walk through the different CSS reset and also normalize just to show you what's going on and what's going to happen. So when you do the reset, you understand kind of what you're getting into and what will happen to your site and not to worry too much. So I've gone ahead and added in a link to an external style sheet that I'm going to use for my homepage. And I've gone ahead and I've refreshed my local copy of my homepage. Now, real quick, just so you can see what I've done, I've just done some things that are pretty basic so that we can kind of see in broad strokes. I've got an underline, I've got a light blue background for my body. I've gone ahead and set my link colors to be red. My H2 right here has gotten an underline, and my H3, my weeks, are going to be italic, that are dark blue, and they are size-wise 1.25 times the body text size. So I want to show you this so that you see what happens when I then go ahead and add the reset in. Now remember, either reset or normalize needs to come before your style sheet. Otherwise, it will override the changes because remember, the order matters. Now, one of the things I've just done here, in case you're wondering, is I've basically made my style sheet link here for my reset into a comment. Comments you can go ahead and add in anywhere. You'll do a kind of open the bracket, you do an exclamation point, 2 lines, that means okay, or 2 dashes. Here goes a note or a comment, and then to stop it, you just hit the 2 again. So you can see this is a note. So I did that because I wanted you to see what the page looks like before I go ahead and use my reset. I'm just gonna delete out the bits that make it into a comment and resave my index. And now I'm going to refresh my local copy. And you see it resets everything. So you'll notice a few things have changed and other things haven't. My H1, so we look here, my H1, my H2. The size of them has been reset to be the body text size. Now I defined the size for H3 here to be 1.25 times the body. So that's remained. If I go in here and I go and I say, H1, I want to be font size. I want that to be 2M. Great. And maybe my H2, I want that to be 1.5M. Okay, now that's starting to look better. Now I want some spacing in between, so I want to change my line height maybe. You know what? Make that 1.5M. Let's see what that does. Okay, maybe more like 2. I want a little bit more room here. So you can start to see, I'm going to have to go in, I'm going to have to add in some padding and some margins, but only exactly what I've styled has come through. Oh, and I also want my font weight to be bold. Cool. So that's the reset. Now I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to delete out the changes I made to the H1 and the font size I made to H2 here. I'm going to go ahead and save that. So now reset, we're back here. I'm going to go ahead and change this from my reset. In this case, I've downloaded both the reset and normalize. And I'm going to change this to normalize. And as you can see, my link, I've got all my CSS inside of a folder that's called CSS. So my links are CSS/normalize. Now you're going to do either normalize or reset. You're not going to do both. So in this case, I've changed it to normalize. I've made sure it's spelled normalize right. Now you can see this is a lot closer to what it looked like before. The main difference is that my padding here, my margins, have changed. So you see there's a little bit of size change, a little bit of line height change, and definite change in terms of the padding and the margins around the edges of the text to the edge of my browser. So if you find reset gives you the most control. Reset also usually makes people nervous the first time that they use it. What I would say is for the recipe book project, if reset scares you too much, use Normalize. Try reset on your class site and start to slowly build it back up to be where you want it to be. Because you get a little bit more time to play with that over the intervening 10 weeks or so. So I'm going to go back here because, again, it might take a little bit more work for reset, but you're going to get a better grip on what you're doing, and you're going to make sure that you have styled it exactly how you want. Now, real quick, I just want to show you order matters. I'm going to put that after. And you'll see how it's reset my size, it's reset my style. The color has been retained, and that's about it. So make sure you put things in the correct order. Otherwise, suddenly all the work that you did goes out the window. So go ahead, make sure that you've added your reset or your normalize to your recipe book page and to your class site. You're going to want to make sure those are on both of them by the end of this week. And again, you can go ahead and use normalize for the purposes of our first project if you're a little bit more comfortable with that. But try out the reset on your class site.